Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Super Stogie Bros. I'm Christian.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Nick. So welcome this week. I don't know. I'm looking at YouTube and it doesn't look like we're playing anything right now.
I
So
might be running behind.
so yeah. Okay. So what's up, guys? I hope you guys had a good 2 weeks or a good week since we saw you last week on the Herf without the guest. So she was in Las Vegas for Cigar show. So it's all good. Christian, what's been good with you? What's been going on?
Just working the shop, man. It's been a crazy month, man. It's just overwhelming in some ways and good in other ways. Just kind of riding the wave at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a hella hectic month for me too. It's just been like a lot of work and a lot of, my wife started rotating shifts again. So for 2 weeks at a time, I'm playing Mr. Mom, and so I'll go work 10 hours and come home and take care of the kids and all that stuff. It's given me a newfound respect for single parents, though. Like my hat's off to you if you do that on a daily basis, because it's kicked my ass the past 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
I'm glad she's back on regular shift, so I get to spend some time with her too. But yeah, it's just been weird. So, so
so
you
you
got
don't
any at the shop?
do
People
what?
need to. I said, you got any big events coming up at the shop? People need to look out for.
Nothing really right now. I'm on the works of doing a cars and cigars car show. So the shopping center that we have our shop at, usually on the weekends afternoon, it just kind of clears out, and so we've got a perfect opportunity to kind of drop some cars in and pop a tent, do some live music, and try to do an event that way. I'd like to do some more cutting lights and bring some cigar owners out to kind of like go over their cigars and kind of inform some people about them.
Right.
And go like that. So, I mean, nothing on the books yet, but we're definitely wanting to get something going.
Hey, you do got some awesome specials going on right now, don't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. So we still have a small amount of Stulacs, the Stulac pack. So it's a Red Screaming Sun, Lancero, and Robusto, a White Blinding Light, Lancero, and Robusto, and no dress code. So it's like 57 bucks plus shipping out the door. I got about 10 left, so anybody that wants to jump on that and check those out, definitely hit us up in the DM and we'll get that out. We also got the Blackbird 6 pack. So it's a Robusto of all 6 of their blends, is available for 50 bucks
Yep.
shipped. So
And
hit us up.
in the works is working on getting our guest tonight in the shop.
Oh
His
yeah,
cigars in the
definitely.
shop. Be doing samplers of those too, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. We can get as soon as we can get OM in there. We definitely want to get some sample packs and get some stuff out that way. I've talked with my website guy. We should have something done by the beginning of next week,
Awesome.
at least to launch the website and have it available for people that want to order online and get things shipped to them. So we'll have the full inventory online at that point, and then we can start working on bringing in new brands and really expanding our humidor.
Nice. Well, all right, let's bring our guest in this week. So for people that don't know, our guest is Oz or Osvaldo Morales from OM Cigars, which if you've heard me talk about
Hey,
OM Cigars.
Oz.
Okay, I'm on. Hi, I'm Osvaldo Morales from OM Cigars.
If you guys have heard me talk about OM Cigars, he is like takes up 3 spaces of my top 10, maybe 2 spaces of my top 5 cigars. And tonight we're going to be smoking this one right here, the Essential Blend #1, which is my absolute favorite OM cigar. This thing is a firecracker, and I like it because it is spicy, and I like spicy cigars. So, Oz, how long have you been in this business?
Oh, look at that. I just discovered how to be cool like you guys. And I move this out of the way. Oh, shit.
Oh man.
Right?
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Uh,
there we
it's
go.
totally makeshift.
All
How
right,
are you
so
guys doing?
good, man. Good. So just to throw it out there, that probably most people don't know it, but the first Instagram post that we announced Oz as being our guest was not a picture of him, and 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 so that would be my fault. I'll take the blame on that one, and I just it looked like they were both good looking guys, so I just thought it didn't really matter at that point.
So we have rectified the
I'm
situation.
I'm Osvaldo Morales from OM Cigars. That other guy is a Silver Fox 68. And before I took, after I took interest in him, because he smokes at a local lounge in New York. Um, After the photo shoot was done, they announced that he was a runner for Brother of the Leaf somewhere
Oh,
in Texas, and and I thought that I caught him in his best light.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's actually super cool, and everything about him when he starts to speak, he's like funny like Tyler Perry. Yeah,
that's pretty
That's
awesome.
cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, those are some definitely cool pictures, man. The just the photography in that and the promotional pictures for those are just phenomenal. And I got you all put out good photos. I mean, it doesn't everything that y'all got on y'all's Instagram is just killer. Super professional and just killer, and it just goes hand in hand with your cigars.
Hey, Oz, who
hmm
was it that post? Was it Stogie Shots that used to post all those badass pictures of OM cigars? You remember what I'm talking about? Like it was, I can't remember who it was, but it was one of those Instagram pages. That's where I saw your cigars at. And with however they did it, like how beautiful the cigar looked and how dark it was and how elegant but simplistic your band was. And I loved how that blue was there with that turquoise and then that orange pops out. And I was like, I've got to fucking try these cigars. Like, it's amazing how a picture can make you like salivate over a cigar that you've never. And that's really what, for me, drew me in. And I was like, man, I got to have one of those. I got to find them. And then I found you. And I was like, oh, shit. So I just started blowing it up. And then as soon as I got my first, I think I ordered 5 number ones first. And then what was it, like a week later? I called you back and I said, how many? Or I messaged you back. I was like, how many more blends do you have? And you were like 5. I was like, let me get 2 5-packs of each. And you're like, my man. And then ever since then, it's just been history, right?
Stogie Shots now calls himself Modern Debauchery,
Yeah,
and he wanted to get away from um, cigars and cigar pairings,
yeah,
and he wants to photograph other things like really cool knives and guns and outdoor stuff. So he changed himself, like just staying focused at Stogie Shots to Modern Debauchery. And I
yeah,
had him with me at TPE, and I
yeah,
took him around, and we met several other brand owners, and he collected a shitload of cigars to do future photography for other people. So I believed in him, and he let me pay him in cigars. And that's usually the way it goes when you start out. There's
Yeah.
just
yeah,
no fucking catch. Unless you're paying for a website in cigars, shit gets done quicker.
yeah.
Right.
I
That's like between us.
need to I need a photographer so I can find
If
out.
you were to pay your website in OM Cigars, the shit would have got done already.
I know. I'm definitely gonna put that out there now. I'm gonna tell him, look, bro, I'll get you some OM cigars if you just get this shit going.
True story with Stogie Shots. So you know how there's an Instagram and it says paid partnership. So
Yeah.
him and his wife are doing movie night or whatever. He clicks through it and it says paid partnership, and she wants to know. He took off on us.
He might have dipped out. His was this new StreamYard we're doing, if he'll start lagging, and if you log out and log back in, then it'll pick back up. So I don't know. Yep.
So true story. Him and his wife are doing movie night, and she wants to know where is the paid partnership, and if
Yeah.
he's getting paid for taking the pictures of the cigars, and he says no, he's getting paid in the cigars. Well, what's wrong with the cash? You know what he said to her? It doesn't
What?
make a difference. I would have used the money to buy the cigars anyway.
That's an answer I would have given too.
That's genius.
Yeah.
You know.
So how was TPE? Did you like it?
I ran into everybody that I needed to run into in the elevator.
Yeah.
I didn't need to tell you. And it's you know, the one thing that I had to get used to is that when nobody knows you and nobody knows your face, you're speaking to somebody that everybody knows.
Yeah.
And then somebody hasn't seen him for 2 years and they just run and cut right between you guys and shake his hand and ask him how his kids are doing with no regard whatsoever for the person that he's speaking to.
Yeah.
So that was the coolest part about not being known by anybody. And people that I were chatting with in Pennsylvania that have 19 stores. I ran into the guy in the elevator, and it was the first day of the trade show. I brought him back up to the room, and I handed him the first cigars that he was going to smoke that day. So I made a ton of connections.
That's awesome.
So here's the thing: when you start manufacturing 3,000 cigars, 4,000 cigars in one blend,
yeah,
you want to have people that you know that you can call and tell them, okay, they're available. I can send them to you. So I learned a lot of stuff.
Somebody with 19 stores is somebody you can do that to, right?
All right, you're back. Yeah.
Did it fix?
Yeah, man. This is just a period to add to my day.
Yeah, we had. I don't know if you watched the last show or not, Oz, but this StreamYard, like, it's really cool because we can broadcast to YouTube, and then it broadcasts to Facebook, and it'll broadcast to Twitch all at the same time. And we like it because it's got, like, you can put your logos on it, you can record in HD audio. But the thing is, this shit sucks ass because one of the three people is going to lag about 2 seconds behind everybody else. So on the last episode, like, I felt like I was fucking interrupting because I was about 2 seconds behind everybody. So every time there'd be silence, I'd try to start talking. By the time it picked me up, other people had started talking. So I was just talking over everybody, and I just got fed up. And so I pouted like a little damn baby. The last half of the show, I sat there like this. Of course, so the Padron 64, that was a horrible cigar. I hated it, so I was like pissed about that, pissed about the lagging behind, and it really sucks because Stogie Chick was a good ass guest. I mean, you get a hot girl on your show, you should be excited. Maybe not as excited as Christian was last week because it was like he was like but yeah.
I met her. I met her.
So I'm justified then, right? I'm justified in being as I can.
Hating on you, but like it was pretty good.
She's pretty popular. I
told her to come find you at TPE. I told her. I said my boy Oz is going to be there. I said with OM Cigars. I said, have you ever had him? She said no. I said, you have to go find him, get some of his cigars. I said, one of the best cigars you'll ever smoke. I said, way better than this Padron 64.
Thank you, Nick. That's about a whole bunch of times that I've heard that already. But thank you. It's I want everybody to quickly forget what Nick said. At least try.
Your cigars are better than 64. To me, they're way better than Padron 64.
I make a good cigar.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Well, I mean, you're doing. I mean, Nick's probably been one of your biggest advocates. I think personally, going out and like from the beginning, like I he's all about your cigars and justifiably so. I mean, they're great cigars, right?
yeah,
And but man, he's got I think he really is proud of the fact that he got in on the kind of on the ground floor with you and really kind of came up with you and really pushed you when nobody else was really seeing you on the radar, and that's a big thing. Is that a big thing for you?
I think that some people, they don't want to try something because they've never heard of it and they're not going to pay over $10. And then there's the people that just like Nick ordered it and did it for himself because he's not going to wait for his friend to tell him what's good.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people that will smoke whatever their friends enjoy, and they're just learning tobacco. And I feel that if you discover things like on the road where you get lost, you turn the GPS off, and you're going to run into things that you wouldn't have discovered otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where where Nick said, he just feels in comparison to something that's already the standard by which you can measure all others, because that's a big name, big legacy. And when I grow up, I'd like to be like those guys, not taking anything away from them. But I'm not $22. I'm 12.
Yeah.
You can get it for $12. So probably that's what makes it, um, memorable. Um, that number two that Nick is talking about, that oftenly I've been told compares to what he said before. Just if you're going to have it with a pairing, use sparkling water. Something about sparkling water dissolves whatever you have in your palate. And in the final third, where most cigars get bombed with nicotine and tar, whatever it leaves of a residue in your tongue, it sort of dissolves into something sweet. Um, One of the most important things that I've done when I've continued to test the blends and my theories from what I saw going on when I was a 5 year old in cigar shops, um, because I'm from a Cuban neighborhood, is that you want something to burn and taste clean in the final third.
Yeah.
And when you start playing with full flavor and you start playing with full strength, it's pretty tough to get a cigar that you can smoke past the band. Even before the band, you're just
Yeah.
like tired of it and like, let me throw it out. And God forbid you relight it. So kind of like good food, that are good Italian food or good soul food, or something that just the flavors haven't quite married, that you reheat the next day and it's like tastes way better. I've been able to accomplish that. So if you get interrupted with one of my cigars and you have to relight it, it's not like you have to purge it, uh, or to get it to go through something difficult to get it back to where what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're smoking it wet and like any cigar that you smoke wet. For example, Nick's cigar that he has in his hand actually talks to you. That's the number one. And when that one's at 70 relative humidity, it's like Wesley Snipes. And when it's at 65, it talks to you. It's perfect. It's modded and like a mahogany. And then the second color is like a cherry wood. Yeah, it's got two colors going on in it like that. Yeah.
That's a perfect
So
city.
so
I've
just
had
by looking at it, I could tell you that's probably at 67.
I've had it at 70% humidity, and I posted a picture of it. And this tells you about Oz. So I post a picture of it one day. It's at 70% humidity. No shit. Ask him. Did I not get a fucking message that said, "Mr. Nick, you're over humidifying those cigars. I can tell from the picture because that cigar is black. You need to drop it down to 65. It'll stay that beautiful brown color." He said, "But when it gets black, you're over humidifying it." I was like, how in the fuck did this guy get that from a damn Instagram picture? But you are, and this is what I love about you. You are passionate about these cigars. And the one time I called you and asked you, I said, what is good to pair an OM #1 with? That's what I sent you the message. And it was a 3 fucking paragraph return on like, I compare it with steak, pizza, ice cream, this, that. It's smoked best at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It's smoked best in sitting with the north wind. I was like, this was my face when I got that message. I was like, holy shit. I was like, this is no.
Imagine sending that list to an alcoholic. Fucking
Yeah.
piss him off. Piss him
But
off. I don't drink alcohol.
I love it because
Yo,
you're so.
oh my God, Nick! You know what? This is a fucking precious moment. Let me explain to you why I don't drink alcohol. I found a fucking picture. Look at this.
Kind of, I don't really know what's about to happen right now, Christian. With
Yeah, stand by, stand by.
we might have it censored. All right, what you got?
Motherfuckers. Look at this fucking picture. This is the reason why I don't drink alcohol.
What is that? Oh shit!
Pouring you some champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me at 4. And my brother thought it was funny because he thinks it's funny that when it's party time, everybody in the household has to get fucked up.
Yeah. My uncle,
know,
little kid.
I just stuck to smoking cigars. It was the worst headache. The Spanish music, them laughing and talking, my head was throbbing like this. I must have been drunk for like 2 days. I went to fucking preschool drunk. So never again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my uncle, when I was a little kid, he used to let me kill his beers. So when they get down to like, that much, he'd be like, "Hey Nick, come kill it. Here, you can kill it." And so I started drinking early age. But I don't drink anymore because I'm allergic to alcohol. Every time I drink, I break out in handcuffs. So it's not a good allergy to have. So I quit drinking.
Oh my God.
Now it's just this. Now it's just this.
And
Dr.
that doesn't
Pepper.
lead to handcuffs.
Yeah, no handcuffs with this one. Yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Saying, Cap Capwitz shows up at my house. I could get some cabin cuffs slapped on me because I'm going to slap the fucking ugly off of his ass. But not yet. Cigars haven't got me arrested yet. That's all I'm saying about that.
He's interesting. He's a very interesting person. You're gonna meet a lot of interesting people, and then you're gonna meet people that you just don't like them, and you don't know why you like them, and that's probably got nothing to do with you, and you just took it personal. So some people they just don't want to be fucking tagged and whatever. So that's it. Don't tag them. If you get a phone call and you don't like it, hang up.
Yeah,
here's my thing. You were tagged by one person. If you don't like it, scroll on through. But when you stop and take the time to belittle one of my very, very, very good friends on my post, I take that personal. Now you're attacking my family. So when you attack my family, you're going to get the full fucking wrath of Hard Ash. Like, it's coming out. There, those knuckles on my logo, that's not something that I just thought was cool. Like, I grew up probably kind of like you grew up in a Cuban neighborhood, Mine wasn't Cuban, but I grew up fighting my whole entire life. So, I got that anger, that buildup, that passion, and if you piss me off or you come at one of my fucking family members like that, we're gonna have a problem. But that's all I'm gonna say. Before we get off, everything I needed to say in the video, and hopefully he understood that, and we're good. If with somebody or by myself, yeah. So Oz, tell me, you used, people don't know this, but what did you do before you got into cigars?
Oh man, I was in what they call the chauffeur transportation. And if you, beyond the bachelor parties or whatever you could see in movies like Hangover Part 5 with fucking Chow jumping out of a trunk naked because he owes money, I specialized, somehow I just fell into it. And for 20 years, I just specialized in the ridiculous.
Yeah.
So there were some moments that were boring with people that were completely discerning of my professional services because when I'm suited up in a suit and tie, I'm able to get different. United Nations building, the Surgeon General, Condoleezza Rice, private airports, and stuff like that. And then there was what I specialized in, which was just the ridiculous. Ozzy, come to my house and pick up $20,000. My husband is in trouble, and he's in Atlantic City, and he's being held in a room by some Russians. It's just everything that you can imagine. Bachelorette parties, giant size, balloon sized dildos, like being chased around the car with them,
Nothing
panties
says
being thrown at my head. Oh, I'm a late bloomer.
yeah,
An occasional Ozzy, my husband's out of town for 7 days, and it was burned into my brain to just keep my eyes on the road.
yeah,
And I never paid attention to anything that could have been. Um, I'm just too much of a fucking honest guy. It's weird because then you look back and you're like, I should have taken advantage of all the fucking crazy ass situations I was in. You know?
yeah.
So yeah.
So when did you decide you wanted to start doing cigars? I know you said you've always been around cigars and into cigars, but when did you decide that you yourself wanted to start doing these cigars?
Well, I was in Philadelphia and I walked into a cigar lounge and I asked something that was for full body, full strength, and I paid $14.95 for it. And listen, I, it's just real cigar smokers. They know where to get cigars. They know where to get them rolled. They know where to get them blended. And if you find like a shop like the ones that I grew up in my neighborhood, um, you just tell them you want a Habano, you want a Criollo, you want tell them what leaf you want. It's in a garbage bag in the humidifier in the locker. They
Yeah,
just put it together for you. You pick up a bundle and they give it to you in fucking newspaper.
yeah,
So the whole world with bands and everything else is supposed to be impressive. Is I'm very much like sheltered from that, and I know what I'm smoking because I know what's inside of it, not because um, what band is on it, and
yeah,
that gives people a feeling of some type of authority. So look, long story short, not to make you dizzy, right? Because I'm Cuban anyway, and we're the kings of talking shit. Um, 14.95 for a fucking cigar, and I got to it somewhere, let's see, like halfway down, and it
yeah,
just bombed out on me. And it was just the nicotine was trashy. It turned off, and when I relit it, I had to purge it almost six fucking times. And it's a very fucking popular cigar with a parrot on it. That's it. I'm leaving it there. Very fucking popular cigar. And I just thought to myself, uh, this shit has to end.
yeah,
And when? Because you keep an idea, you say to yourself, I want to do this, I want to do a garden in my house. I want to open up a cigar lounge. You keep stuff in the back of your brain. And it just happened to be that it was recently that after that, maybe a year after, I'm on a plane with an ex girlfriend. And I did a move that I do with the LLC in the limousine service. So if I had about 10 cars, I can pretty much give Goodyear a phone call or Firestone or you know um, a good tire company, a good American tire company that's reliable, and get wholesale pricing. So basically, I in my mind I was just never going to pay that much for a fucking shit cigar.
yeah,
I had no intention of making a cigar for others.
yeah,
I just wanted to make some cigars for myself. So the ex girlfriend gets dragged into a freaking factory. I get falsely accused uh, and prejudged under false pretenses that I had some type of plan, for sidetracking our vacation into a business venture,
Yeah.
of which I was presumed to probably become a multimillionaire, which is it's fucking bullshit. There's no
Yeah.
money like that yet,
Yeah.
not even close. Maybe in 10 years when everybody knows, and how it's looking is like in this business you got to spend 2 million before so you can make one.
Yeah.
So I walk into the cigar factory, I start talking this crazy shit, about elasticizing wrappers and wine. And the lady kind of scouted me and she said, there's somebody that does that and he's got it down to a science. And he dips them in wine and he ferments them. So when I learned more about the process that he was doing, because back in the day, what the rollers did, they came from Cuba in the 80s and the 70s. They'd hang them like black and white pictures, and they'd pull out a spray bottle and they'd spray them to elasticize them, check
Yeah.
them, and get the stuff out of the press, and then roll them in two pairs, 300 each. Um, but this guy was doing it different. He was taking the whole bundle like a broomstick before going into fermentation and dipping it into wine where the sugars are rising and it's not quite fermented yet, but the yeast cultures are there, and then shaking it off, putting it in fermentation, and the yeast cultures are eating the toxicity and the pneumonia of the
Nice.
leaf, and nothing is lost.
Wow.
So it surpasses the bullshit of stalk cutting,
Yeah.
where they just can't think of anything else that they could possibly do to Connecticut broadly to keep it full potency. This is like an enzyme as it's working its way around the leaf, um, which is also from the same soil, same chemical balance, and same metabolic profiles in the soil. That those enzymes, they're eating the toxicity and the pneumonia. Nothing is lost. So you're getting a distinctive room note from that number one, Nick,
Yeah.
and the number four have a wrapper that are fermented in wine,
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
which is what gives it that two-tone color.
Yeah.
You know?
So did
And
you was number one your
right,
first? Just start with just
yeah,
one,
yeah.
and you perfected
Because
that.
I had my mother in mind, and with the habanos, what happens is that they got thin wrappers and they tend to crack.
Yeah.
Uh, but if you got something with plenty of age on it, it's like a mummy, and you know how to elasticize it and bring it back, and you're cutting from a certain part of the plant that's a little thicker. There are certain things that you can do to avoid those situations. For example, I'm working with three San Andreas. One is on the number four, one is on the number five, and one is on the number two, and they're all very different. Um, very thick leaves, very thick leaves. A lot of tooth on them, and I'm seeing the San Andres that's coming out of Nicaragua. It's like paper,
Yeah.
so it makes you think that they crossed it maybe 4 or 5 generations with a Habano or a
Yeah.
San Vicente, because it's very thin. And you got to make cigars that they're going to last and they're going to work in Colorado and in Texas,
Yeah.
in Boston and in Miami, in Washington and San Diego, Southern California. So all three sections, top and bottom.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know,
So
So
one thing I look at your cigars that I like so much. A lot of people go for like the perfection of a cigar, that it's just rolled perfect, that there's no, looking at veins. But like every one of your number ones that you look at, you can see like it's not a perfectly rolled cigar. It's got lumps and it's got, you know, imperfections in it, but I love the fact that it is like that, cuz you take the pride in the fact that, look, I'm not rolling this cigar to look perfect. I'm rolling this cigar to smoke perfectly, to taste perfectly, to pair perfectly, and I I love it, dude. Like the number one for me, like looking at it, it looks so leathery. Like I mean, it looks just like a like when you get like a brand new leather suitcase, how it looks, how it's got that shine to it, and that the number ones have that, dude. They are fire. I mean, absolute fire.
So for those that you'll find that are beauty contest critics, um, yeah, it's a little Frankensteinish, but what's important is what you spent your money on, and you want to take a picture with a cigar that's, I mean, a top 10 supermodel, or do you want it to combust and you want to look at the ash that you smoked? That's what's left over from, what isn't your ideal supermodel, but you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But when
So you look at that ash that you have in your hand, it's not even gray, man. It's like silver.
yeah,
Mm.
it's not a
So
supermodel, but this one, when you get down to the butt, like for me, I don't want to put it down. Like it's one of those ones where I'll smoke that thing till it's damn, falling off my Ilion cigar nubber. It's coming off that. It's burning the piss out of my lips because I don't want to put it down because it's that good.
Yeah. That's the telltale sign of a quality cigar, and something that when you don't want to put it down, you want to just keep smoking it.
I remember the first time I smoked one of these, I was like, man, this thing, I want to dip it. Like,
Wow.
I want to
It
chew it
screwed
like
everything up. I got a
tobacco.
phone call, and now my earbuds aren't working.
Oh. I'm chalking it up to StreamYard. I'm pissed at these people, dude.
All right, we'll keep going without the microphone.
Oh.
Let me see if I can hear you guys.
Yeah, can you hear me? I can hear you.
Very, very low. I got to listen to the phone now.
Okay. Well, I can talk louder, Oz. I don't have a problem running my mouth really loud. I can do that. Give mine, I can take care of that for you.
Can't hear a word that you're saying.
Damn it, man. So
We can go on standby until you get it set up.
yeah, he's like geeking out now. Hey, Christian, we could talk about our sponsors.
Yeah, let's do that. Jumped
So,
off.
so we can get Oz straightened back out and in here, we're going to go ahead and give a sponsor shout out. So, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but I have been drinking out of my new Skyview Creations Super Stogie Bros cup tonight that was made for me and Christian. We have matching cups. They are amazing. So if you want a cup of yours or of ours or of anyone we have, Skyview Creations is your company to go to. They can put any logo on any cup, any design on any cup. Absolutely amazing. If you want to check them out, Skyview Creations _256, I think, or just 256 on Instagram.
256.
Yeah, so check them out. You better now?
yeah, everything's working.
All right,
Awesome.
cool. So,
One more. I want to give a shout out to the Big Ash Smoke Book. If you go check out the Big Ash Smoke Book on Instagram and at thebigashsmokebook.com, they have one of the most comprehensive cigar journals on the market right now. Lace has really taken the time to really break everything down for you. So if you like to journal your cigars or really like to keep track of the cigars that you really like or you don't like, and not have to kind of remember which ones those are, the Big Ash Smoke Book is the best opportunity for you to do that. Really affordable, and you can actually get it customized. You can get your logo, you can get other people's logo, you can pick up a Super Stogie Bros version available at the Big Ash Smoke Book / Super Stogie Bros. Go out there and check them out. Definitely get you one and give them a little shout out.
Yeah, you can actually. Oh, dun 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 dun.
Dun.
You can get a super. You can get a Super Stogie Bros Big Ash book and smoke with us on the show and journal your cigars on what we're smoking because we give you a heads up on that. So, but yeah, the Super Stogie Bros has actually got on top of it. It says like what date it is, what episode it is, and who is the guest. So I've already started my journal for this OM Essential Blend #1 that I'm smoking tonight with Oz. So also we have Legion Concepts is one of our sponsors, and they do Lancero cigars, Magnus cigars that are freaking amazing, coffee, cigar stands, cutters, basically everything. You can find them on Legion Concepts through Instagram. Go check those guys out. Fantastic. Josh is a great guy. He will be a guest on our show sometime soon and kind of give you a breakdown of what he does. And our new sponsor, Christian.
Hennessy Cigar Company. Hennessy Cigar Company has got a ton of different cigars that have come out. If you're following anything on Instagram, they're really blowing up and people are really talking about them. So you got to go back and check them out at Hennessy Cigar Co. And really get with them and get sample packs. They've got shirts, hats. I think they have a sweet, a mild, a medium, and a barber pole in several different vitolas. They're made to order, so as you order them, they go and have them rolled and made and send them directly to you. So check them out. And also HennessyCigarCompany.com, I believe, is the website. Go by and check them out.
So Oz, check this out. So I do this a lot, like try to, stack the ash on my cigar. This ash is perfect. Like it's not cracked, it's not splitting, there's no like break. It is beautiful, like absolutely beautiful, dude.
It's still a little wet.
Yeah. It's never perfect for Oz,
Because you're stacking dimes, when that cigar, it should leave you like a sheath and not dimes. So that sheath is like, when you wax your car and you get little beads, and then there's this other wax where just water just sheets off the car. Yeah. So
when you keep it at 65, right, and then you smoke it, your ash is going to be nice and smooth. It's like a sheet. You're not going to see the layers and stuff like that.
I found that 65 over here in the north, but maybe 65 in the south could still be a little wet. It could be 63.
Okay. Yeah, because we get kind of humidity down here, a little bit more humidity.
Listen, Nick, I'm not that bad. I mean, I've fucking witnessed people open up a bottle of wine and pour it in a glass and argue and pull fucking guns on each other just because you're supposed to wait 5 seconds to sniff the glass because everything left out of the glass from the wine, or it's 10 seconds. They haven't even started arguing about what it tastes like yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not that bad, believe me.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
No, but you. Yeah, I know my own stuff. I know the cigars, so I want a fair shot, and I want people when they burn them not to light up 4,000 degree triple torch flames into them and suck fire into them, and I'd like them to do what Nick is doing. He's watching it, and he's keeping it warm, not overheating it, not leaving it too cool. It's sort of like everything that you cook. Isn't it so much better? Coffee, soup, whatever it is that you boil or you broil or you bake, to put it on low instead of just giving it high heat and then you got to turn the heat back. For those of you that don't understand me, you don't please others with instantaneous orgasms. You lead up to that.
Yeah.
Your metaphors are super awesome. I gotta tell you that. I've just been
I was losing you, and then I thought, fuck them. I'm just gonna bring them back.
So I tell Christian a lot. Like I'll be sitting there. It'll be like a Tuesday.
I'm into hot wax,
Yeah,
fire, candles,
it'll
all
be
that shit.
afternoon, and I'll get some random fucking message on my phone. Like that one time you sent me the video. I guess it was like at an apartment at your farm or what, down by the factory, and the guys are out in the street and they're throwing rocks at the police, and the police are doing something. You're like,
Yeah.
Nick, this is right down the street from my factory. I was like, holy shit, what is he getting into? Like, I hope he's all right now, but
Well,
yeah.
you know, they just don't want to be told that there's a fucking curfew for drinking Presidente beer and playing dominoes in the front of your house, and you have to wear a mask. It just doesn't. They don't really, you know. They can't see. They can't possibly see how that would be harming anybody.
Yeah.
And you have to understand them. So, I mean, they were throwing bottles and rocks at the cops, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Texas is so much fucking cooler. You know, the whole world should be like Texas.
But Tuesday, I mean, what else do I do on Tuesday besides get out in the street and throw bottles and rocks at cops? That's what we do in Alabama on Tuesday afternoons. I don't know how everybody else is. Just Tuesday.
So talk about some of just the variety of blends that you've got, and like, what is your favorite blend of your five?
Do you have children?
Yes.
Do you know that every time every time somebody asks you, or every time you hear somebody else ask if which child you love the most, and you hear others say, I love them all equally, I'm going to tell you something. That's fucking bullshit. Okay? That's fucking bullshit. There's always one child that you decided to have another child because of him.
Yeah.
So we're just going to keep going because I fucked this one up, but I'm not going to fuck up the next one.
See, if it was me, I'd have stopped at number one. I'd have been like, I've fucking reached perfection. What more can I do? But then you passed that because you said, hey, I rolled this badass number one cigar. Let's put it in a fucking Lancero. And Nick said, what? Lancero?
And then he had a second.
Like I had to go clean my pants out when I realized there was a Lancero because I had a cigar-gasm right there in my pants, Oz.
Well, I my experience is different because I've seen the toughest of guys do this thing that dogs do when they have issues, and they walk on in a circle and then they lay down and sort of just lick their balls till they're content. That Lancero has an address on it, and if you take off the first band and you keep smoking it, you haven't used the bathroom, or you haven't eaten, or you're not into full body, full flavor, and pencil size 99% Ligero cigars. Don't fucking bother. Just piss on yourself. And I mean, it's the room starts spinning. You get really hot. And some people handle that like it's no big deal, but I like to retrohale a cigar. I like to keep it warm. I like to see the changes in it. And when I like to keep up with it, I can honestly tell you, I cut the Lanceros in half. It's difficult. It's tough for me to keep up with them. And it just doesn't make me a fucking punk because, there are girls out there in the Dominican Republic and here in the United States, and there are guys that it looks like there's a niche for that Lancero. But the cool thing that came of it is like, people are like, so-and-so's got a Lancero, and it's like Crocodile Dundee. Like, that's not a knife. I have a Lancero.
Yeah. Oz, that's not a Lancero.
This is a Lancero.
This is a Lancero.
Yeah.
Man, I'll take
So
that.
so back to the favorite cigar, my favorite child. So the wrappers, that number one, um, when they used to be, because when you walked into a cigar shop, you had two choices: either dark, which is oscuro, or light, and they both came from Connecticut, and they were in a broadleaf. So they saved the light, which was AAA Connecticut, and it was blonde, like the way that people dyed their hair in the '80s, platinum blonde. And then the dark, they would sort of spray it, which is like the B Connecticut C, classified as like not light enough and beautiful enough, like uh, Donald Trump's hair. Uh, and they would spray that one with the bitter wine, and that would
Yeah.
be the Maduro, and we would get some color on that one. They used to crack because in the end it was still a very thin Connecticut. So what I used to do for my mom was when hers cracked, because my uncle would smoke the amo, which would come in a 5 pack, and it was 99% Mexican San Andreas, the amo. Um, it was like a cab driver cigar, like everyday blue collar cigar that you can get at grocery stores. And I
Yeah.
used to wrap a napkin around it, a wet napkin, let it sit for 5 minutes. I would cut the shoulder off of it and then peel it, and I would get a perfect wrapper, like it just came off the chaveta.
Yeah.
And I would rewrap my mother's Havana, which
Mm.
was primarily a Cuban pilot. So that's what I did with the number four. I recreated something that I had been doing for her uh, for over 35 years, and basically it's a Cuban pilot in a San Andreas wrapper.
Huh.
And you have, number one is a Cuban pilot with a Havana wrapper. So so number four is something that I was psyched about because I was able to do that too and ferment it in wine. And man, number four is
Fire. That's
anybody
that.
that I give that cigar to that just doesn't like me because I'm overweight, because of my personality, because I'm abrasive, just because they just don't know me, or just because they're asking me who the fuck does this guy fucking think he is. As bad as they want to hate it, they all shake their hand and tell me, "Wow, you fucking did it." What is your name
Yeah.
again? So in the short sizes, and I brought a lot of them in, 5 by 50. It gets the message across right away.
Yeah.
So when you're talking selling cigars, you want to get your message across immediately. And if that person's having a bad day and you gave them every penny's worth and they feel satisfied, they're not going to forget you. you know. But when you start trying to convince people with lanceros and things that are exotic like that, unless they're in that niche and they have 5 or 6 other lanceros to compare it to, and you've given them the next best thing since sliced bread, they won't appreciate it. So you gotta, I mean, there are people here that are probably watching this that own a cigar shop, and they might think to themselves, I only sell 6 by 60s. I mean, so do I. When the weather's nice, they sell. But if you want to get your point across to somebody, you do it in a short size.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a small run of about 3,000 and 100 boxes, and maybe be grateful to Texas. That Texas is the first state that has really taken me serious and taken interest in me. I mean, I would have thought that it was here, New Jersey and New York around me. I mean, for a little while, it's been kind of the same. Leave it at the fucking counter. We'll call you. Fuck you. Don't call us.
Yeah.
You know. But Texas is just, and even at TPE, running into people in the elevator. So I would have never imagined that there's a lot of um, full flavored, full body, appreciating smokers from the south of the border.
Yeah.
No. So those
Mhm.
Tiamos, the ones you're talking about, I've had those before. Those are actually decent budget sticks.
It's a 99% San Andreas. It's real. It's pure. It comes from a family that picked it up, and they've had it from the beginning when it came
Yeah,
into North America. But the actual San Andreas seed, it's been to Honduras. It's been to other places.
yeah,
It's just it became popular when it went to Mexico.
yeah,
So they named it a Mexican San Andreas.
yep. So, what's coming next? the short cigars like you're talking about, the small ring gauge, small length.
Right.
I
And
know
after
that's
that, maybe I'll. I'm sorry, Nick. Maybe I'll take everything and I'll experiment with everything, which are the core lines 1 through 5, and not to get anybody excited, but I'm testing number 9. So I have enough for core lines
hey
before I
Oz.
start intermixing stuff.
If you need somebody
Yes,
to give honest advice
yes,
on the number 9, I know a guy in
yes,
Alabama that would hook you up with some serious good advice on that. Like
yeah,
I can put you in touch with him.
yeah. It's a no band on it.
Yeah.
It's a sick Connecticut broadleaf with jalapa, condega, and omedipe,
Mm.
and it's your fingers, everything smells great. It's,
Man, that
it's just strong.
I can smell it just here, just thinking about it.
Christian
Yeah, yeah.
Christian is a Connecticut guy, Oz, so you are speaking his language because typically most of your cigars, like you said, are full body, full flavored. So, but I'm breaking him down. I sent him some. What did I send you, Christian? Number ones and number
You sent me
fours,
a
or
number two and a number 2 and a number 4.
yeah. So he did smoke those. Now the number 2s and the number 3s are my wife's favorite OM cigars. She loves those. Like that was the what was it? Which one is the one that has the citrus notes in it, Oz?
That one, the one you got, number 1.
The number 1? No, there was another one that she smoked, and I can't remember what it was, but she was like, it was like I was just getting her out of the, we were expanding her palate, and we were getting her away from like infused cigars and Drew Estate, the Deadwoods. She still loves those, but so I gave her an OM, and it's the one with the turquoise band on it. Which one is that?
Number 2, you get some dark raisins, dark fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Number 3, you get molasses, peanut butter brittle, and the bitterness is exactly like biting into a green Granny Smith apple. It's
yeah.
Oh,
exactly that much kind of bitterness.
That
Then you get some peanut butter brittle. Yeah. Um, 4 is a fucking Lamborghini. It's all over the place. You step on the gas, you're gonna get a ride. And 5, um, in sequence. 1, they said that I was fucking nuts, and crazy. 2, they said that I got lucky. 3, they said I did voodoo. And 4, I changed the minds of the ones that didn't want to believe. But 5,
yeah,
I completely became unapologetic.
yeah.
yeah,
I didn't have a reason. There's no reason to feel sorry for anybody. You take it, and if you can't take it, then where the fuck are you taking it? And how much are you
yeah,
taking? Okay, are you taking all of it? Where is it that you're taking it? So you get people that tell you they can't take it anymore.
yeah.
What is it that they're taking?
What are you
Yeah.
taking? Exactly.
Where are they taking it?
Where are they taking it?
If they can't take it, Oz, I'll take it for them.
Yep.
I'll take one for the team, and if they can't take it, they can send them to me. I'll take the rest of them for them. I mean, I'm just that's the type of guy I am. I'm looking out for not just myself, but for everybody else too. I mean, I'm just a fucking nice guy that I will bite the bullet and take one for the team, and I'll take it
I'm
for them.
glad you're on a cigar channel, and we're not in population with bunk beds and steel toilets and steel sinks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not where you want to talk like that.
He probably shouldn't be talking like that with some of our viewers.
Yes, first of all,
Your DM's gonna be full by the end of the night.
I give them shit all the I just feed them pearls, and then for like the next 2 weeks on every herf that I get on, they're busting my ass. So like Bernie O'Brien says, I love steel toilets. He's one of my buddies. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's watching the show tonight. So thank you guys for coming and joining us. You know, it's what the fuck? Fuck you, Bern. Douchebag. I do.
What did he do that? What did he do to deserve that from you?
Yeah, this is the jackass who texts me like 4 times a day, just seeing how my day's going. Then he's gonna throw on there that I love the big ones. And then Manny says Nick loves giving mouth hugs. This is my friends. Yeah, these are my family. These are the people that get pissed off when somebody belittles them, and I cuss them the fuck out, like this dickhead. See that?
Wonderful people. I just don't want to go camping with any of them.
No. Or drop the soap in front of any of them either, you know. So, yeah.
Okay. So, you know which one is my favorite child? We know that when parents tell you that they love all their children equally, it's fucking bullshit. Number one, you know, was for my mom. And I tell you not, man, if it would have been anything less than what she's used to, she'd have fucking thrown it back at me, man. These fucking ladies are hardcore. Fucking,
Yeah.
she's just the neighborhood
Yeah.
that I grew up in is some of these women are fucking special that smoke cigars. You know that?
Yeah. So does she approve? Does she got to give the final approval on all your cigars?
When you come from a background of money laundering, gambling, and extortion, you know, she just wanted to know if I had to borrow money for this project.
Oh.
You know, so I said no, and I'm lucky because when you go down there, they get visited by a lot of people that knock on their door, and you know they can care less. You're not. They don't know you. They don't know that you have distribution. They don't know that you have licensing. They might as well just tell you, well, you know what? Are you ready to purchase 40,000? I mean, even if you're lucky to get them at $2, who's got 80? Who's got 80 G's? And you still got cellophanes, bands, artwork, boxes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in it already for a year and a half. I'm gonna work on my first box now.
Yeah.
You know. So people want a good fucking cigar, man. They don't want a fucking box. I feel.
Yeah.
Unless you're a collector and you're talking like something like a Davidoff Year of the Ox that you paid $500 for, and it's got, you know, that even the bigger stores, they're only going to get 50 of them. So, in those cases, yeah. But if you're an intelligent guy, you're a smart guy, you know that fucking box took more than $10 to make.
Yeah.
At their cost. Yeah. You got $10 in paint if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You know, and then the holographic stickers, the serial numbers, the embossed gold foil, and even the hinges. You know that that's added into the price of your cigar. So, Nick, when you made the comparison, yeah, the number 2, but it's $12. You don't have to pay $22 for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I mean, look how lucky I am, man. I got a freaking world-class photographer that works for cigars.
Yeah.
So if I didn't, then I'd have to factor in the price of that too.
Yeah.
You know, the expense of social media, the expense of very expensive boxes. Nothing, man. It's got a simple fucking band with my name on it. That's it. And the fact that I put my name on it means that, you know, I'm not looking to get away with anything. I'm looking for it to stay.
Well, and
You know,
to stop you there, like your bands aren't super simple. The design and the graphics are top notch, and
It's
that's
you
kind
think
of
so?
I
It's
think so.
just my fucking name with some filigree.
I'm a graphic designer. That's what I
You
did.
are,
That's what I did for a living, right?
and you're
And
impressed by that fucking stupid little band.
it's
dude.
nice. It's not stupid and little. It's about even the simplest things can come across professional, right? The color combinations, the filigree, the your name, the font used, everything that ties everything together brings the professionalism to that band, right? And it's not a matter of like, oh, that's simple. It's effective,
It's
right? But
this
you
is
show a picture of that on a piece on with a good photographer on a band on a cigar, that thing looks like a $22 cigar,
it does. The
right?
thing I,
I
that I
like that
say
1940s look.
the
Yeah,
thing
and it
about your band
worked.
all the time is the color combination that's put in here. Like I don't know if this does it justice showing on a video, but I'm a huge Auburn fan. Not to throw that out there, but the blue and the orange and how it pops off together, it's simplistic, but it's elegant. Like that's what I tell everybody about the OM bands is they're not all this reflective-y, shiny shit. There's not a bunch of fucking like graphics and designs on there. It is simplistic and it is elegant and it pairs perfectly with your cigar because just like the cigar, it's like just it's amazing. Thank you. So I
Okay,
love I
so
fans.
you got me. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I mean, fuck it. It's this will be on YouTube for fucking ever. So
Yeah.
I just tell you the fucking truth. They said to me, "You're fucking crazy if you're gonna put blue on a bag. It doesn't fucking work."
It works.
It works.
And I said,
Proved them
"I got a
wrong.
problem. You know what the problem is? That I'm a limousine driver, and all the town cars and the Cadillacs that were on my fleet had a light blue pinstripe on them, and that's how the Wall Street guys never lost my car
Yeah.
because that light blue is the only fucking blue that you can see when you're colorblind."
Ah,
So I went with the same concept. I said to myself, I'm going to put a band on a cigar that even if you're fucking colorblind, you could see it. Okay?
That,
That's it. You
works.
got me.
Goes.
that's genius. That is genius.
Yep.
So what? Now I know OM Cigars is kind of you guys are venturing out a little bit. So you don't just have cigars; you have other things, correct?
hmm I There's some things that I'd rather not talk about. That fucking thing right there. I got a letter that it was patented in France, and how dare I make one that even comes close to it? Only they're pissed, I guess, because mine is an African teak wood and whatever. It's like half the price of theirs. So those are a hidden gem, and if you got one of those, it's because I fucking love you. That's it.
Okay. I know where I stand.
This guy, he loves me. So yeah,
I can't.
but
I can't. I can't. I have no fucking sympathy for him whatsoever.
look, you have just opened yourself up now for the comments that are coming in with the whole love and Nick thing. It's I mean,
Nick is not a solo item. He is a couple.
mhm.
And you want to know something? When the comments come in, I can tell you two things. Nick pays for his cigars. So whatever the fuck Nick wants to say about the fucking cigar, it goes. And it just so happens to be that Nick spent his hard-earned fucking money on a cigar. He happens to think that he got his money's worth. And that's why when I'm sorting through fucking pictures on Instagram that I'm tagged on, I have 23, 23 fucking pictures that I'm tagged on from Hardash.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I love this guy?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I love this guy?
Yeah, definitely. Because he's kind of a jerk.
It surpasses everything because the ones that are silent
Yeah.
and want shit for free, and then when they do get it for free, and they're like, oh, it was all right, but you caught them fucking staring at it, making love to it, like an 11-year-old looking at his first dirty magazine that he got
Yeah.
from his brother or his father-in-law or whatever. So, it's good that when you're vocal, and I mean, there's so many different types of assholes that Nick doesn't even make top 10 category for fucking asshole. He's like fucking, he's just acceptable, well-rounded, fucking, the kind of asshole you want for a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
With me, you know where you stand. You know, like it's not a surprise. You don't sit around and go, I wonder if Nick likes me. I wonder how Nick feels. No, Nick will tell you. I will be sometimes blatantly obvious. If I don't like you, you will know. If I do like
There is an army of fucking Instagrammers now that are probably going to be hired because you're going to get tagged now on a whole bunch of shit that has to do with stuff that you would never even take interest in, and it has nothing to do with giveaways. How do you plan to reply?
Yeah.
I I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll fly by the seat of my pants and figure it out when I get there, dude. That's just what I do.
I don't think that you're going to be tagged on any posts that have to do with nuns shopping at Victoria's Secrets. It's going to be quite the opposite. How are you going to reply?
I will love every single one of them. I welcome every single tag that someone puts me in, and I appreciate everyone.
Bullshit.
I do. If you tag me in something, you'll typically get a heart because I work 12 hours a day, and when I get home, I try to catch up on all the Instagram shit I can. If I'm really bored at work and I'm sitting on a meeting that's going nowhere, I'll pull up Instagram and kind of scroll through it and try to interact with everybody. But if you tag me, I will at least like the fact that you tagged me. Sometimes I'll tell you thanks, or sometimes I'll tell you this, or if you tag Hard Ash in your picture, I will repost that to my as long as I possibly can. There's a lot of people I'll go to repost it, and it doesn't allow me to repost it in my story. And to those people, I apologize. But if you make your Instagram page shareable,
Whoa!
huh?
It's starting to tickle.
Uh-oh.
It's tickling me.
This
This is going to be a deep, dark issue for a long time about being tagged or not being tagged, or be careful how you fucking talk to me if you didn't like me because I fucking tagged you on my fucking giveaway.
Yeah. I want to giveaway. I appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to recognize Hard Ash Cigar Society, and you actually take the time to say, hey, let me tag this guy in this giveaway. I don't give a fuck if you're just stacking up tags trying to win a giveaway. I'm never going to be upset about that. I never will. I promise you that. You're never going to get a smart ass comment like, look at yourself. Look what you've become. Who the fuck are you? Take your sunglasses off at night inside your house, you fucking douchebag. Quit walking around looking like a fucking Billy Bob Thornton strung out on coke for fucking 8 years. Get a life, faggot. You're not any better than anybody else that's on this fucking Instagram. So get off.
This fucking guy is still arguing with himself. Holy shit, bro. 72 hours fucking later, he's still fucking arguing with himself.
So, yeah. Yeah. Still get a little testy about that one.
That's family.
Now I'm done for the second time.
So tell me about this lounge, because I've sent undercover agents over to your lounge, and they keep telling me that there's these great barbecue spots surrounded by your lounge.
It is.
They're
There's
surrounding your lounge. You
surrounding.
got pit masters. Are these people real pit masters?
Yes.
I'm asking because I fucking eat. I'm
Yeah.
not very skinny. I
I'm
mean,
telling you,
I want something to do if I go to visit you. I just don't want to sit there at the fucking lounge. I actually want to eat.
plenty to do. We've got so in our town there's 5 barbecue spots, right? Out of those 5 barbecue spots, 3 of them are in the top 5 in Texas.
Really?
Correct. Yeah.
What do they rub?
Each
This
of them has,
wicked
each of them has
meat
their own kind of.
And the one that I went to when I was down there was not one of the top 3. Like, just my luck that I picked not one of the top 3 fucking, not one of the 3 top 5 barbecue spots.
You were a guest.
I know.
You will accept what the fuck you were given, and you will not complain.
It wasn't given. We broke for lunch and drove down there, and we happened to pick one of the not top 5 barbecue restaurants, and it was.
But it was good. It's. I mean, all 5 joints here are like top of the line barbecue spots, right? But 3 of them are recognized as the top 5 in the top 5 of Texas by Texas.
So there's a place that Stogie shots who doesn't want to be called that anymore. Modern debauchery. He's very fucking fancy now. It took me to a place where they serve meatloaf made out of brisket. Yes.
Meatloaf made out of brisket.
It's brisket meatloaf. Yeah, meatloaf made out of brisket. That's exactly what the fuck it is. I was trying to register that. It's completely made out of brisket.
Damn, that sounds pretty good.
Yep.
So, I know Christian has 3 of the top 5 barbecue restaurants in Texas in his hometown. But Oz, you mentioned Pitmaster.
Right.
Did you ever watch that show, Pitmasters?
I think so. Yeah, they're playing with fire. I like doing that stuff. I like that.
So Chris Lilly, the guy.
By the way, this is the Hard Ash fucking channel. And you know what? I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to this chair right there.
Okay.
Because I just realized that the one that I'm sitting on, you have to have a hard ash. Holy shit. What the fuck is this?
You're sitting on a wood block, dude. What in the hell?
Yeah, because I just wanted to look fucking shorter so I could be like everybody else.
How was that short?
Should I say this in public? My ass has never felt so good.
You better watch out with some of these guys on the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Smoke the fucking cigar, okay? Then talk whatever the fuck you want to say, then say it after you smoke the cigar. But don't make your mind up before you smoke the cigar.
Just because Oz has a soft ash does not mean you judge his cigars by his soft ash. Sensitive, tender, soft ash on Oz. I see he's putting that in his mouth like this motherfucker right here.
No, I'm thinking about something that I left out.
No.
Why the simple ban like that? You know, what do they call it? They call this fucking cigar culture because to me it's like having Spanish parents that smoke cigars, and when a woman smokes a cigar, it's like leave them alone, don't even speak to them. Just like the same thing when you see the Spanish parents smoking a cigar, the male. You know, don't even come close to them. Don't interrupt them. In fact, they'll light a cigar at Thanksgiving dinner when they just are offended by their in-laws and they just want to clear shit out. So my understanding from growing up in cigar culture is that with cigars, you light one up because you want to fumigate people and get them away and be left alone. There's so many things you could do with cigars. I mean, you could have a meeting and, you know, wear a fancy suit and an expensive tie and just drop ashes on yourself like you don't have a care in the fucking world. That's
Yeah.
intimidating. So everything's so much in the last 10 years, and they have beautiful lounges where people get together and they call it the indoor smoking experience. And I guess because more and more people don't smoke in their house, they don't smoke in their car. They say if you smoke, you smoke. You smoke wherever the fuck you want to smoke. Um, what's changed a lot in 10 years is that you got to make sure that if you're doing something, stop trying to gear it towards pop culture, you know? And this was born out of necessity. So it was for me. Then I thought Essential Blend, it was a funny story. It was supposed to be Essential Release. And somebody said to me, that sounds like a fart. So I said, okay, Essential Blend. But the blends are old. So I had to call it something, funny as it is. And it was never intended for anybody else. It was just supposed to be for me. But if it was going to be for other people, then it would have to be taken serious. And out of necessity, the simplicity in the band comes from necessity because you have those names that they're legacy. And lately, what I've been seeing is just bands that are just like, if my parents, if my mother, God forbid, I gave my mother a cigar with a fucking ninja on it. Not your mother. Your mother would look at your sister, and your sister, who's only 5'5", would stand up on a chair and slap you. And she can because she's older than you, and it doesn't matter how many fucking teardrops you have, she'll still fucking slap you. So it's just that's the culture that I grew up with. So
Yeah.
that all of these things, they're out of necessity, and I remember like 10 years ago in Miami, and I took a fucking tattoo. And I remember hearing a tattoo artist say to another tattoo artist, I wish this shit would just go back to the way that it was. And I guess it was because of the influx of fucking retarded people now that wanted a tattoo because they saw it on television. So you had to have an influx of fucking retarded people going into a cigar shop because they saw Mickey Mouse on a fucking band now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So there are a lot of things that are born out of necessity. And then there's the other guy that takes advantage of that. And I've had to hold my head because there were guys that I swore were fucking serious. I mean, really serious. And they just fell into it too. And they put, I don't know, a red velvet cake on the fucking, I said, oh my God, he did that. So when you line them all up, it's like lining up comedians and asking them, all right, guys, which one of yous is the only fucking one that hasn't done a movie dressed like a woman?
Yeah.
So do you lose your sense of dignity, or is it that the fucking guy did it for the money?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm beginning to think that 9 out of 10 times, everybody has a price. Everything could be brought, and for the money. And then there are some people that just still believe, like humans. There's only two types of them. There's the ones that are like Tony, and they're the ones that are like Tony's mother. And if you're in need, they might wipe your ass. They won't kiss your ass, and they certainly won't sell themselves out for fucking money.
Yeah.
So
you feel like the industry is getting to a point where, people are just taking advantage of this kind of pop culture-y kind of thing and not letting their cigars stand on their own, and I feel like a lot of the cigars that are coming out that have these kind of like quote unquote ice cream cones on them, or comic book character or whatever, they don't have any significant kind of quality or change to the tobacco that makes them stand apart from anybody else.
Now, Oz, you need to.
I'm gonna answer that for you. How many hobbies do you have? Since how many hobbies do you remember having? Okay, I'll go first. With me, it was the dogs. I used to travel everywhere, and I used to compete with them, and I used to race cars. Right. So you probably have more than two hobbies. The both of you. You're always going to find that in the things that you're serious and passionate about, there are people that are full of shit,
Yeah.
and then there are people that are fucking posers. So what happens is that if they don't smoke to begin with, then they might as well just put it away and call it a collector's item. And that's why it sells,
Yeah.
because they don't fucking smoke to begin with. Dude, you give a real smoker a fucking $200 cigar, do you think that he's gonna wait for his fucking anniversary to smoke that $200 cigar? You fucking crazy? Give me that shit and light it right now. That's it. You
Hey, I
think
was
I'm gonna save some cartoon character in my humidor because it was only one of 1,000 made? So there's a market
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it. What I don't get are the ones that are manufacturing for that.
Mhm.
Jesus. Padron, he would never. Carlito, never. Um, and I know a few that make cigars for others. Maybe Placencia and Perdomo, never. And if I'm missing a few more, but it's almost as like everybody else, they don't care. If you got the money to buy it, I'll make it for you. You can put whatever you want on it. You want to put freaking Mary Had a Little Lamb on it? Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting into a sensitive subject for Christian because he is really upset with the cigar industry right now, and he's on the same page as you are because they're releasing all these cigars that have like food names and cookie names and stuff like that, and Christian gets them, and he's like, they're not even fucking, there's not even tones of chocolate in this cigar. It's not even there's not even any sweetness in the cigar, and it pisses him off. Which, I mean, don't call any of them out, Christian, but expand on that from your side. That you,
Yeah, I mean, you get all these, these brands, these new niche brands that are putting out, bands that are like cool and artsy and, have food related qualities to the designs, and you get that thing, and it doesn't taste anything like the food that's on the band, and I call that false advertising. I call it um, entrapment. If I'm gonna spend the money on your cigar and I'm buying it because it's supposed to taste like a fucking fortune cookie, I expect to taste a fucking fortune cookie or some kind of notes that hint to those fortune cookies. And if it doesn't, then why wouldn't I be pissed off about spending on my money that I could have spent on a cigar that I knew had good quality and is going to be a good smoke.
I have an answer for you. You probably brought into that, didn't you?
I bought into it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
So, all right. So, Chico Rivas, he did that, one of them. And a friend of mine, he said to me, "No, I can wait." So, it's a game whether you can wait to smoke it or you can't wait to smoke it. If you can't wait to smoke it, it's probably because they don't know anything about it, or something is presumed in their mind that they need to chase it. But then when my friend said to me, "No, I've had everything that he makes, and it's probably unified to everything else that he's made, and it's not going to be anything special." Well, there are people that have stuff that's in storage and it's sitting in the back of the aging room, and others have made it their quest to search these things out that have been lost and bring them out to shine. Sometimes you get great deals on them, sometimes you don't. But here's the fact with anything, like let's go back to the hobbies, anything at all, whether it's boating, racing, whatever it is, there are always going to be people that show up and they're super hot, but does it last for 2 years? It never goes past 2 years. So they'll get it and they'll run with it, but it's not that it's going to last. If they knew that it was going to last, they'd take it more fucking serious. Or if they wanted it to last, they would take it more fucking serious. So it's geared towards that pop culture because there's a market for it. That's it. I mean, it's just um as simple as a goddamn, you know, uh, someone that would just excuse himself by telling you, if I don't sell it to them, somebody else will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're crossing a line. And the thing that disappoints me is that we were so tight and close to losing a lot of things because the FBA was scrutinizing and looking. And you can't give away skateboards of guys with, your logo that has a motorcycle guy with cornrows on his head. You can't give a whole bunch of stickers away of something that looks like it's appropriate for a 9-year-old, not even a 7-year-old, no, not even maybe a 5-year-old. So it do your own thing. You got a fantastic opportunity to create your own house plant because you have your own shop and you call it Elian Cigars. And I'm going to be in the Dominican Republic June 3rd to the 15th. I have so many of these blends in my brain as it is. And I've organized my brain to subtract half of them because I had to look through a card catalog to see if I can get over 50% of everything that I had in my brain and to catch receipts that had been shipped to the United States before 2007 so that I can use that. You understand where I'm going with that? Okay, that doesn't apply anymore. Now we can just play with stuff that's really exotic. Okay? So if you want to do something with a Brazilian Matafina, you want to do something with a Sumatra, you want to do something with Jalapa Condea or something that's sought after like Ometipe, if you want to do a nice wrapper in a Colorado Rosado, okay? And I'm mentioning all stuff that I'm not selling. So that means it's in my mind. This is next. And next is not too far away. It's already done. It's just sitting there, aging, you know. Um, Take a trip to the Dominican Republic. I'm going to be there from June 3rd to the 15th. And if you want to do a house plans allow you to recover some monetary development because it's exactly what it is. It's a house blend, and you're going to make 200% on it at the very least. Even if you're selling them, for $6, you're still making 200%. Fucked up as it is, there are guys selling house blends for $10 and $12, and some of them aren't $2 fucking cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their cigars are 85 cents, and you can tell, because uh, they need 72% relative humidity. There isn't a thing in there that's over a year old, And even if you did try to age it and ferment that stuff at over a year, they're brittle. They'll never last 3 or 4 years. They'll fall apart like a rusty car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I can help you. And sometimes when it's easy like that and you tell other people, yes, I can help you, they're like, okay, good. So there are people that exist, they just want to learn the fucking hard way and do it the hard way.
Yeah.
But I want to feel useful. So if I'm useful, because the opposite of that is to be useless. So if I can be useful to somebody, I will be. I don't have to put my brand forward all the time. I can help somebody create something for themselves.
That's awesome.
So let me call attention to this real quick. So I'm about a little more than halfway through this, and look at this burn on this cigar. Like, I mean, it is still razor sharp. The ash
Most of it is due. Most of it is due to the method of rolling into bottle,
Yeah.
and then the colors are due to the potassium and calcium levels. That's it. That's hard ash in a nutshell.
So, and it's still fucking amazing too.
It's a little wet.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
Now, it is getting a little gangster lean on it, but I'm not going to trip.
You do whatever the fuck you want. You don't have to worry about where to fit in. You have one of those in your hands, the world is yours, Chico, and everything in it.
We gotta put that on a shirt. That's gotta be a quote for a shirt. You got one of those in your hand, and the world is yours, Chico.
I'll rock it.
What's next for Elian Cigars? Because you have multicolored, just a bunch of stuff going on in that humidor, and you know I'm a fucking cheap date, man. You can get me in Texas with some barbecue.
Definitely, we're gonna get you down here. You know, you're next. OM is literally the next brand that is going into my cigar humidor.
I've heard myself with the same fucking speech when I'm apologizing to the right girl for not dating her in the beginning. So because I'm human,
no.
You seem like you're human. I'm just want you to know that I know. But as long as we both know and we're both comfortable, then I'm okay with the truth.
Now we would have already had you in the lounge, but so there was some like mix up between me and Nick. Like I assumed that Nick was going to be that middleman because he was your boy, and he was going to handle all of that. And then apparently I dropped the ball because I didn't fill out the paperwork for everything, and so everything kind of fell between the cracks. And
it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out fine. You know why it's gonna work out fine? Because it's gonna work out fine because they're not ready yet. OM Cigars is a full body, full flavored cigar.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be fine. They're not ready yet. The good news is you can smoke 5 of them a week and not burn your palate out.
Yeah.
That's the great news. They burn clean till the end. You get to the final third, they don't bomb out on you. So when they do get there, when it's their time to get there and it's that moment, they'll be well received. You know? So sometimes you feel you made a mistake, you really did it. Because everything in the beginning is experimental and it's all about learning. Mm-hmm. Or somebody comes by and tells you, look, take this whole load, I'll give you 20% off. And you feel like it's a great deal. You got the money burning a hole in your pocket and you want to get it. And then other stuff like me, I'm just starting out. So my inventory is low and I have to not bring all of it in at the same time.
Yeah.
Because then I have nothing to. So I hold myself back. Look, the number 5 by accident is very popular because it's gotten to some people that can't leave it alone and they can't forget it. But the reason that they can't forget it is simple, because I just didn't have it. I didn't bring it back. I only brought in 200 pieces. And, I would slip one for free in different people's orders and, so that they can get feedback on it because I needed them to go across the country into Washington, into California, to see if any of them behave differently in different altitudes. And the response was positive. So, I'm still sitting on another 10,000. and I just brought 300 back. So it, I'm not in a rush to wholesale them.
Yeah.
I'll retail them myself. And you want to know why I'm going to retail them myself? For all the times that I was told, leave it at the counter. We'll call you. Don't call us back.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know. So, so the lounges where they're gonna be,
Special.
in places that sell cigars and that
Yeah.
know about cigars. So you can't take a brand new brand and just put it in a lounge and expect it to sell itself.
Oh
It
yeah.
has to be a partnership, you know. So yeah, I've had my cigar in a lounge. One specifically here in New Jersey. It was a big order, and I went back to get another order, and he said to me, "I can't." I said, "Why?" He said, "It's a great cigar, and everybody that knows about cigars agrees that it's a great cigar. The problem is I don't have any fucking real smokers in my lounge."
Yeah.
And problem number two is if you sit in the back of the lounge and you're just waiting to count money and decide what you're gonna have for lunch so you can get rich, and there's only one hot, cute girl at the register who doesn't know how to sell a cigar because she doesn't know what you had for lunch, she doesn't care what you're drinking, and she really doesn't care what the last thing is that you smoked, so that she could take you on to the next thing that you're gonna smoke, so you don't have to look back because that's what's available in your lounge.
Yeah.
Then you're never gonna get real smokers in your lounge. You can with smokers that only appreciate holding a cigar. You can teach them how to light a cigar. You can teach them how to cut a cigar. And then you can teach them how to enjoy a cigar. Then you can teach them how to not make a fool of themselves while they're smoking a cigar. And then you can find out what cigar is it that they like. And then take them to something. Listen, the tobacco plant has 5 stations on it. Some people would say six if they get it to grow 6 feet. So it only gets better.
Hmm.
Today you think something is great and you see twinkling little stars and the fairy godmother, and then you smoke an OM cigar and you go back to the other cigar where you saw twinkling little stars and the fairy godmother, and you say to yourself, well, it wasn't so much better.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was. And you move on. Your palate changes,
Yeah.
you know? Just like the first time I ever had a fucking Opus X. It just so happened to be that, and this wasn't that long ago, and I'm not embarrassed about it. I mean, why would I pay for a band? That's not where I come from. I
Hmm.
come from a place where, you pay for the blend and you know what you're smoking, and it gets handed to you in a bundle in a fucking newspaper. But the photographer Stogie said to me, it's a golden staple of cigars, and you have to have one. It just so turned out to be that I smoked the one that comes in the coffin because part of it gets donated to charity, and it was called the Toast Across America. And you got two of them. There was one of them in there that was box press, and it fucking ruined my life. I couldn't taste another cigar for like 48 hours. I went on a complete Opus X binge. I was cracked out in a fucking hotel room with like fucking 4 boxes, and then I got over it.
You ended up on a roof in a pigeon coop, tweaked out.
On Opus X.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, fuck it.
I think they got meat.
I've done the same shit, in other places. You leave me alone in Krispy Kreme and turn off the lights, I'll stick my fingers in everything. So,
I just
bad
can't.
habit.
I can't get on that Opus X.
Picture me fingering a Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I
Yeah, imagine that, people.
and like, but no, I can't get on that Opus X kick because to me, paying $50, $60 for a cigar, pay $11 for a cigar that to me matches my palate better. That to me this $11, $12 cigar is better than a $70 cigar. I just can't justify to myself going out and spending that extra money when, I can go buy this $170 Opus X, or I can hit Oz up and pick up a 5-pack of Essential Blend number ones and still head down to Burger King and get, a burger meal with the same $70. And then I have 5 cigars that I can enjoy for a longer period of time. Again, instead of one Opus X that I'll sit there, and at the end of the Opus X, I just sit there and I go, I did not get my $70 out of that. Now maybe for Nick, I haven't had the Opus X that's gonna revolutionize my life, but I got tweaked out on OM cigars the first time I had the Essential Blend number one. Like, I was out here and I was like, it was before my wife even got really big into smoking. I went inside and I was like, oh my God, this cigar is fucking amazing. I have to order more of them. I have to see what else he's got. And she's just sitting there like, oh my God. And like, oh, here we go again. And then when she started smoking and I got her on it, she was the same way. She was like, I think the first one she had, we were at the beach and we were sitting on the balcony at the beach looking over the ocean. So the setting was perfect. The cigars were perfect. Like, everything was perfect. And she's smoking that cigar and she was like, oh my God, the flavors on this are just unbelievable. The notes I'm getting out of this. And I was like, been trying to tell you, babe.
So she agreed with you.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
That's a fucking beautiful relationship. You have a relationship like that you can smoke with your wife, at breakfast, at relaxation time, at our time, me time, we time. You have, you know, sometimes it's cool, with the person that you love to have that moment of silence, and appreciation and to smoke a cigar. I prefer that, you know.
Yeah.
I prefer that. I'm not a lounge rat. I've only started visiting lounges now because my intention is to sell them cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I prefer, definitely.
You're more of
If you're married to somebody, and she doesn't expect $800 Gucci bags or Chanel shoes, and she's happy that you get her an OM cigars, you're fucking winning.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, like, it's one of my favorite, absolute favorite smoking partner, and one of my favorite times of the day is when me and my wife on Saturdays and Sunday mornings, we'll get up, I'll make a pot of coffee, we'll walk out on the front porch when it's still kind of crisp, chilly outside, fall or spring weather, and we'll sit on the front porch drinking our coffee, just watching the world go by, smoking a cigar. And every day when we get home, we'll sit back, and it's our unwind time now. It's our, just get out of that, because we both work together. And so it's get out of that whole work mentality and just slow down. That's what we do. And I absolutely love that we share the passion for cigars together. So this weekend, Saturday, is my birthday, and we've both taken off work tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to spend the whole entire day together, and I'm pretty damn sure there's going to be a plethora of cigars involved with our kind of just sitting around chilling. Like, she's the one who pushes me, let's go here and let's do this. And Oz, on our date nights now, like, we'll go eat dinner, and it always ends up at a cigar lounge, but we don't go in there and socialize with other people. The cigar lounge that we hang out at, Cigar Room on 72 in Huntsville, they have a card table. So me and her will go back. We'll sit there, just me and her, and play cards, play nines, or play whatever, and smoke a cigar and just enjoy each other's company. The whole entire lounge could be packed out, but me and her are just paying attention to each other. And that's
beautiful. You have a partner, and you guys are in each other's world. And you don't need anything outside of that, and that's when you're really in good company. Listen, when you go to the Dominican Republic in that town, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Where they roll the cigars in tambourine, that's what it is. In the morning, you have breakfast. They have like Italians do. Italians have mozzarella what they do is they have something very similar. That's a white cheese that, like Italians, they put on everything. So they'll put it next to their eggs. They don't use pork sausage; they use salami, soft salami, and they tend to cut it in slices and fry it. And then they take their produce, which are mostly like yams and calabash, or just stuff, everything that looks like potatoes, and they make that into to a mashed potato in the morning, and with a cigar next to it, and after it's just that's in the morning, and
Yeah.
then at night a steak with salt and pepper and a cigar. So that's unwinding. Cigar smoking is like I've at some point, you know, you tend to realize that you could get tired of everything, and you could get tired of being rich. You could get tired of having the biggest house, the most money in the bank, and then other things are more important. But the most important thing is to have time to yourself and have your own ceremony with the right cigar.
Yeah.
I tell people to find what they like. The only difference is that I knew what I didn't like, and I sought to make what was not going to give me that experience, and then I just shared it with others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I find like a lot of the cigar people, or people in general, that just go out and they take their passion and they're said, I'm going to make something that I like. And if other people don't like it, that's fine. I'll have it. But if I'm making something that I like, the chances are there's a majority of people out there that like that too. And I think that you found that kind of place. You're making something that's for you and that you want and that you want to perfect and you're passionate about, and other people are going to start falling in place with that, and it's going to come out.
well, it just um, there is a certain synthesis that has to do with the cigar that's going to get a band on it, and it's going to finally get approved and go into production. Chances are slim that it's going to be the cigar that somebody else is telling you to come out of your own pocket with all this money and produce. Chances are big that the person that's coming out of their pocket is going to have some say, and he's going to have to like the cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, will will I ever um, will I ever manufacture a cigar that I don't like? I'm not a really big fan of Connecticut broadleaf. I swear I have three different types of architects in San Andreas that I feel are just as good, if not better. But because of the way things are, that Connecticut broadleaf is now, because of the way that it's been used in the last 8 years, and because of the acclimates and the awards for the people that have been using it, it seems to be like such a staple, right?
Yeah.
So think 10 years ago, did you ever fucking hear of it?
Mm-mm.
10 years ago, the big thing was African Sumatra and Brazilian Matafina.
Hmm.
So it really depends, on what the person, what they like. Yeah, that guy with the fucking parrot on the band, man. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. It's not fucking cheap either, man.
No, it's not.
Mm-mm.
So it was born out of necessity, man.
Yeah.
So Oz, when are we gonna get you back to Alabama so me and you can smoke, or the next time I come up to New York? Because there will be a day where me and you are gonna sit down and share. We're gonna share that time of smoking a cigar together. It's gonna happen.
If I get you here, I still own a limousine service.
Oh, look out now.
Um, there are some cars that are completely paid for, and I don't owe a note on them anymore. And I'm completely capable of driving them myself. Well, I did most of the time. I'll pick you up at the airport, and it'll be the most fun you ever had in your fucking life.
Look
Oof.
out.
All I know is I want to go up and check out this trailer cigar lounge with the jungle in it.
So I was recently told that it wasn't, and it's not a fucking trailer. It was actually a car wash. It was a little garage,
Oh, okay.
you know. But the idea, is
This idea is still there.
yeah, no, and they're doing well for themselves. They are.
Yeah, a lot of people. Well, some people know about that. Some people don't. But you want to share the story, Oz, or you want me to?
Ah, you know what? Having a cigar lounge is tough. You gotta go to work. You gotta like what you do. You gotta have some really good idea about cigars if that's what you tend to sell. You know, um, it's not like being a car salesman where you just offer somebody the option of a cup holder and they're gonna go ecstatic and lighting mirrors underneath the sunshades for you to fix your eyelashes. Um, if a woman walks into a cigar shop, you have to be respectful. Do not underestimate her. If you offend her, you lost not possibly a good customer, you probably lost a fucking great customer. There are
Yeah.
a lot of women that know what they're doing when it comes to cigars. You should look at some of these women now. I mean, for example, even the one that's involved with Nick, and you talk to her any way you would talk to some redheaded cute girl that you think doesn't know anything about cigars, you'll have a fucking surprise coming
Yeah,
in a package,
agreed.
you know? And God forbid you tell her not to tag you on a fucking giveaway.
Yep. Well, well,
Grenades.
we're about at the end of our 2 hours for this show, so I think it's probably about time to wrap it up. But
Yeah.
I want to say, from me and from Christian, thank you so much for coming on here, dropping this knowledge on us. Thank you for your absolutely amazing cigars that I will keep pushing all the time because I'm sold on them. I know that everybody that I give them to, everybody that when I put them in my giveaways and I give them out to, every single person hits me up and they're like, "Where can I get these cigars?" So what we do at the end of our show is we do our shameless plugs. So I'm gonna ask you, please plug let everybody know where they can get your cigars at and how they can get their hands on some of these amazing cigars.
Well, pre-orders at Elion Cigars. You go there every day, crank call him till he's just can't take it anymore. And then that's Texas and also Blue Smoke in Dallas. So I gather you guys are far enough from each other, right? And
Yeah.
then in New Jersey, Stick Cigar Lounge, who has been A+ with me from the beginning. Um, a few places in Jersey. Fanatics, that place that I told you looks like they does very well for themselves. And ultimately, I just got a load in, so I updated the inventory. If you're okay with not asking me to send you a sampler of 5 individual different cigars, and you want to go ahead and purchase what you think um, might suit your palate, you're gonna get 5 of them. OM cigars. That's it. It's that simple. Just Google OM cigars.
Or you do have a link in your bio on your Instagram page, correct?
Shit, Nick. Yeah, I do. Thank you very much
Yeah.
for reminding me about that. I like making things simple for Instagram people.
Yeah. So
Cool.
that's awesome, Christian. You
Yeah,
want to go?
I truly appreciate you coming on the show with us and talking with us, and I'm definitely going to hit you up. I'd love to do something with you as far as a house cigar or working together and doing something together and really building that partnership. So we'll definitely talk in the future and get this stuff going and get it rolling.
Thank you very much, Nick, Christian, for having me, as Osvaldo Morales from OM Cigars on your show. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you
Christian,
very much.
plug your board. Your board
Goodbye.
behind you. Your board behind you.
Oh, you want to do the clubs?
Yeah, hit it up real quick.
So I'll just work it. I'll just scroll it up like a credit sequence.
Yeah.
And you talk about them.
So we got Glasses and Ashes, one of our good friends. He's going to be probably the next guest we have on our show. Vaughn from Glasses and Ashes, he'll be on there. Then we got Thistle and Sticks, Legion Concepts, Ohio Cigar Mafia. We got, what's that one? California? Asheville, California?
Carolinas.
Asheville, Carolinas. Okay. Roll up. Elion Cigars, of course. Napalm Cigar Smokers. Clutch of Smoke. Great guy. Does really shitty jokes on people that are his friends. The Cigar Crew. Asheville Cigar Club, Texas. Up. We got another Elion Cigar badge. Smoking Dram Society. That is our family right there. Jamie Hall will be one of our guests on the show sometime really soon. Great guy. Great bunch of people. We love you guys. The Goat Cigar Club. Asheville, Alabama. Whoop, whoop. Shout out to my wife and her hot ass and her club. So we got Cigar Porn. What's that one in the middle? Pop Smoke Squad.
Smoke Squad, yeah.
Yep. We got the Operation Cigars for Warriors. Some crappy patch that I can't even tell what that is. Oh, that's mine. Never mind. Hard Ash Cigar Society, Asheville, Texas. Scroll up. We got the Good Cigar, the blackout that you can't see. That is the Good Cigar podcast blackout badge. Then the gray badge right next to it. Texas Cigar Rollers. Tim is one of our great friends, and he makes some amazing cigars. If you guys want to pick some up from him, you can go look him up on Instagram as Texas Cigar Rollers. We got another Hard Ash patch. That's my new PVC patch that we got out right now, guys. If you want to get that, hit me up on Instagram. We got Asheville Cigar Club, New York. Up. Cigar Smokers Worldwide, another good cigar. We got a hottie in red hair with some knuckles on there. So Miss Hardash, I love you. You're amazing. We got Cigar Sessions. What is the other Asheville? There's a whole lot of Asheville. Wisconsin. Then we got Cigar Dojo, Silverback Cigar Smokers, a Clint Eastwood patch that I sent to Christian, Cigar Clowns, and Cigars Australia. All right, and we want to.
And this one, by the way, was, let me see. This one was Dubai.
Oh, Dubai. Then we also want to give a shout out to our friends Ice and Sticks. He's got a patch out that Christian doesn't have on his board yet.
I don't have in general.
Uh-oh, James. You better tighten up. I do have one. I think it is out here. I will look and see real quick. Wiggle through my patches. But then we got a new one I just picked up this week. Yeah, here's James's patch right here. Ice and Sticks. A new one I picked up this week, and I will probably murder how you pronounce this name, but Cigar Pixany. She's a girl that's on Instagram now. She's booming up real good, so check her out. It's Cigar Pxinay. know how you pronounce that though, but she's really cool. She's got my wife really likes her. She's Asian with a undercut on the side of her head, and a very pretty girl. But yeah, Justina loves her, so we got on that stuff. So thank you guys very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next Thursday on the HERF.
Yep.
Oh, Patreon members, talk about it, and if you want to be a sponsor.
Yeah, we definitely have we have sponsorships available. As you can see, we push out our sponsors, throwing them on the bottom of our feeds. We also talk about you on the show and put you up on our website. Shoot us over a message on Instagram or email us at superstogiebros@gmail.com if you want to be interested, and we'll send you over the information. Patreon members, if you go to patreon.com/superstogiebros, you can help us cover the overhead of having this show, and subscribe to our other content that you can get from us. We'll have downloads, special posts, special things that you can get into, and eventually we are going to make the HERFs exclusive to Patreon members. So you will not be able to get onto our HERFs every other Thursday unless you are a Patreon member. So make sure you go to Patreon, check it out, and see what the perks are. Other than that, big shout out to our sponsors again: Skyview Creations, Legion Concepts, the Big Ash Smoke Book, and Hennessy Cigar Company. Big thanks to Hard Ash Cigar Society and Elyon Cigars.
And another big thank you to Oz from OM Cigars, who was a great guest tonight. So please, 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 like he told you, go check out his cigars, guys. They will not let you down. Go on his Facebook page or his Instagram page, OM Cigars. There's a link in the bio. They'll take you to his site, and I can personally guarantee that every one of his cigars is fucking amazing. So go check those out. Thanks, guys.
And peace.
We'll see you next week.
Nintendo! Woohoo! Yes, all right, let's go! Mario